I'm standing here, and this used to be the old way to Europe. So now they've made it wide, very wide. It's so wide and so well built you could drive a tank out. All you have to do is remove the barriers. Now, David Cameron or Tony Blair, one of them says China was his favourite country. Oh, really? I don't mind Chinese women. Look, there's a fit one. She looks Chinese. She's a woman anyway. She's nice. Yum yum. Anyway, I was looking at this, and I spoke to the lady up there. China is looking to expand. It's not the Chinese people's fault, but the Lord says if we adopt idolatry, that he will send an enemy from across the land. And who's the traditional enemy of the Christians? The dragon. Will send an enemy from far across the world to destroy us, and eventually we will end up eating our own children, and our children will eat us. Now, how will that happen? Idolatry. There's idolatry there, look. And there you see the fascists, the Roman fascists, the Roman church, idolatry, saying they want to baptise aliens and all. So you can see, blessed is the people that escape the nations. So now the Chinese are building the Silk Road Railway. So that can just bowl straight up the Eurostar in France, and then drive straight into this country.
What's that?
Look at that ugly looking fucking thing up there, look. Heathen idols, look. It practically looks like it has a spirit and a life of its own if you stand here and look at it. Now the fascists means break them up, whip them with the bonds. So the British people have started to cop on to Europe, and they want out. So they're after someone in the midst of the government from before has made a deal with China. Is a traitor. You never open up your borders for an enemy unless you are an enemy. You don't build a train with a railway station going into Europe and then abandon it and say, oh, we're not using it for that anymore, we're building it somewhere else. No, there's two ways in, and one of them goes right into London. So you could imagine the Chinese army have more than enough military capability to secure that railway track all the way up to the borders of Europe, or even the Russians. We're getting driven back. Now the multitudes here, look, I've been around London all day and I haven't bumped into any Irish people. Maybe one. And we're the neighbours. So if they were opening up the borders to anybody, should they not be opening up the borders to their neighbours instead of people from far? But anyway, God says he's going to make it. The 10 plagues of Egypt will look like a walk in the park compared to what happens in the Deuteronomy for adopting idolatry. So that's what's happening. Me, I'm convinced someone is a dirty traitor in our midst and is opening our borders up for whatever reasons to the Chinese, because they want control. You can see it this way, in a democracy they have a bit of power but not much power. But you imagine a big Chinese superstate stretching into Europe and all of that, or a big Russian superstate. You could be the dictator of that if you've done a deal with them. You'd have a lot of power then, wouldn't you? You could fucking knock yourself out and dictating for a few years. Because if you've already lost your soul, all you have is this life. So if you've sold out for whatever reason, you can't be trusted to make sure you have the best people's interests at heart. Now it's hidden in plain sight, and already they've done a stress ritual, as far as I can make out, right on the gate of this place, where they fill the place up with loads of people, stress them out, and give them bottles of water. How does that sound? Yeah, there's something boggy. It's just a small island. Why do we want loads of mad head balls coming from abroad that don't want their ways? You know what I'm saying? The Chinese are not very good once they get into your country at being rulers. And they're probably the right going on. I wouldn't be building no fucking gate. And Quilter is the land in Ireland, the forest. Yeah, no one else will probably tell you this, but I'll tell you this because I keep my eye on these things. Quilter is the forest in Ireland. Now you can hide anybody in the forest in Ireland because there's no one in Ireland, because they ran all the Irish people out of Ireland and they're all fucking abroad. It's only a few leprechauns that they're done in apartheid government over in Ireland, sending all the wealth out to the rich people. You can't trust them either. They're another bunch of elite fucking weird bastards. So there's Malaysians, us, we're abroad, and then you have even a Polish foreigner running the country now. anybody but the indigenous population. That's called chaos. These lands weren't given to these people by God, they were given to them by treacherous rulers. These lands were given to my ancestors by God himself. Moses sent us up here. King Callahan, Cashel. An Englishman's home is this Cashel. The Rock of Cashel, rock salt. That is a big gateway with a ritual done on it, a stress ritual. There's bottles of water all over the place. I'll walk up here and give you a butcher's. So, there's loads of evidence of the stress ritual. Stress is the biggest killer. So basically, whoever opened this place up done a bit of killing. They mightn't have killed you much, and there's an idol down there that looks like it has a spirit in it. It looks fucking alive with a spirit. You walk down the bottom of here, it looks like there's two evil eyes looking at you out of the idol. It's almost got a ghost film on it, like you put cling film on someone. Now, a stress ritual to idolatry, sapping people's energy. There's the water, look. Obviously, there was a lot of stressed out people here. Stress is the biggest killer in the Western Hemisphere. So someone made a sort of to me, a ritual. How do I know it's a ritual? Because people were stressed. There's the water, and there's the idolatry down there, right beside the fascists. Now, who created communism? Well, the Jesuit general said that he controls not only Paris, France, but Beijing and China and stuff from the Jesuit general's office. So did the Jesuit general open up this place for a load of communism people who are after taking the ban off breeding one child? Now they have as many children as they want, so they're definitely going to be looking for what the Germans used to call Liestenfrau, breeding sprays. Yeah, I see a wicked plan. I'm a junglist man. I was walking through the jungle with my book in my hand, singing, hey motherfuckers, I'm a jungle man. I look up a tree, and what did I see? An evil fucking entity looking at me. I picked up a rock, and I hit it in the cock. Down it came and done a belly flop, cause I'm the king of the ravers, the jungle VIP. Yeah, I reached the top, and I had to stop, cause there's one thing bothering me. Everywhere I see that bad man watching, filthy and he rotten, and I'm going to the bottom. Let me tell you something, you ain't forgotten, you're filthy and you're rotten. So that's what's happening, a stretch ritual, stress. I'm stressed out because all these pretty girls are walking past me and not one of them will touch me provocatively. Look at them two. Oh, I miss K5. Fucking China. Maybe the Chinese will bring me out with a few girlfriends.